I also want to talk about the small town the story takes place in, Morio. This is, in my opinion, the best setting of a JoJo's part through the first 4. I think it was a really smart idea to keep them in a small town rather than have this grand adventure across the world like the last 2 parts, because the lack of stakes in the first half is one of its biggest strengths, in my opinion, because they are given so much more time to explore each character, establish the powers, and just establish the entire town without it feeling like it's dragging or taking away from the main plot. And the other parts just didn't have this liberty. In part 1, Dio's taking over the world. In part 2, Aztec gods are trying to take over the world, and in part 3 they're rushing across the world to defeat Dio and save Jotaro's mom. In part 4 there's just an arrow giving people abilities, and later on it turns into a murder mystery. And although I think this is one of the weaker main casts, all of their friendships and interactions feel a lot more legit. They don't just fight and then resolve their issues immediately. Rohan still hates Josuke for a long time. Koichi and Yukiko have a whole romance arc. Hell, they run into aliens at one point. And although I know this slice of lifestyle isn't for everybody, I think it makes Morio feel so much more lived in and real.